morning to all. I, Dr. Bhani, working as an assistant professor in Parallel Institute of Physiotherapy, welcomes you all for our today's session. So, in the current scenario of pandemic, the world has come to realize the importance of fitness in COVID-19. So, let us appreciate and understand our today's topic on the current trends in fitness and conditioning in these times of COVID-19. Today we have with us Dr. Slesha Vaidya, who has done her Master of Physiotherapy in the Orthopedics. Currently, she is working as an assistant professor in SPP College of Physiotherapy, Surat. She is having more than 11 years of experience in the field of academics and the clinical, and she is having an extraordinary contribution in the field of research with ample number of publications in the various journals. She has conducted workshops on the antenatal and the postnatal management in many institutes. She was invited as a resource person for the webinars across the India on the topics like naturopathy, diet and nutrition, fitness and physiotherapy, research in physiotherapy, Pilates, and so on. Dr. Slesha, we are very delighted and proud to have you with us. Please share your exceptional notes with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sneha ma'am. I'm very delighted to be on this platform and to be sharing the knowledge on this topic. And thank you for the wonderful introduction. First of all, I would like to thank Parul University and Bhavna ma'am, especially to have given me the opportunity to share my knowledge on this. Now, in this difficult times, I think in the times of COVID, it is very, very important that we have to stay very healthy, not only physically, but also mentally. And we all know that exercise is a wonderful medicine and it can work wonders. So not only for our physical health, we have been striving for the physical health for very long. But in today's time of crisis, I think mental health is equally important. So taking this as a ground message, I would like to share some of the facts that what we can do in these times. As see, we are all involved in exercise medicine. We play a very important role in exercise medicine. So how can we involve ourselves, the other general population, as well as our patients, and we can motivate them to stay healthy, fit, mentally as well as physically. So I'll just start with my presentation. Sneha ma'am, if you can just share my presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
So before that, I just want to welcome you, Dr. Slesha. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be a part of series of webinars by Parul University. And we are very happy that you have selected the topic which is very much needed and a need of an hour these days due to COVID pandemic and second wave. So I'm sure that this webinar would give you much more insight towards the COVID rehabilitation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Fine. So the topic is current trends in fitness and in the times of COVID-19. Okay, so we being, as I told you in the introduction, we play a very important role in fitness and conditioning and rehabilitating the patient. So we need to know what are the current trends. Now, see, every year ACSM, we are all very much aware what is ACSM, right? So they always do a survey. Annually, survey is done, and they jot out the trends that are most common in fitness industry. So when the survey was done last year, because of the pandemic, online training, which scored 26, it was on rank 26 for 2020. It has come to top number 1 in 2021. Seeing the current situation, the gyms have closed down. We have no facilities available to go and work out in such a specialized environment. So we have to find certain other areas, or we have to find other ways in which we can maintain ourselves fit, we can maintain general population fit, and also rehabilitate our patient towards fitness, right? So this is the current trend, that what I'm talking about and what I will be talking about, right? So the COVID-19 pandemic has certainly made an impact on the fitness trends in 2021. The new number one trend for 2021 is online training, which ranked 26 for 2020. Next, mention that the top 10 ACSM fitness trends for 2021. Because we are going to talk about current scenario, so I thought that taking the top 10 ACSM fitness trends would be the right way to present it in front of all of you. The next slide, please, ma'am. Okay, so online training. Now, what are the big change or challenge that we all are facing is how do we engage our patients, our if we are only solely into fitness industry, then our clients or participants into physical activity, because there is all so much of negativity around. So how do we engage them with this attitude, or with this condition that is going on, or in times of this crisis, right? So the big change within the health fitness industry as a result of COVID-19 pandemic resulted in the temporary closure of the clubs, the gyms around the world, forcing innovative delivery of classes, right? So the challenge of engaging clients at a distance resulted in the use of some very strategic delivery systems, right? We have to come up with something innovative so that we can engage them, we can motivate them to stay fit. So online training was one such way that we can develop at home exercise, which will give you at home exercise experience, staying indoors, staying safe in your home boundaries. You can still remain fit and motivated physically as well as mentally. So online training is a very, very useful platform. This trend uses digital streaming technology to deliver, either it can be in group, it can be individual, or it can be instructional exercise program. So it can be a generalized program in group or individual, or it can be a very formatted exercise program according to the needs of the patient or participants. So online training is available 24/7 because it can be pre-recorded, it can be uploaded. There are various fitness apps that are also available, but they are not definitely they do not give you a structured program or a tailored program according to the need, right? But it is good to remain motivated, right? So for the individuals and professionals who are excited about the possibility of tracking apps, right? Now there is technology which is, we are very lucky that we had to face this pandemic in this. I would not say very lucky, but at least we are blessed that we have to face this pandemic with such technologies in hand. Okay, that we have so many right now tracking apps that are available. We have such digital wearable technologies that are, we have that smart watches, we have certain devices which monitor our heart rates, they monitor our physical activity. So we can use these digital technology as our allies in maintaining the fitness. Okay, and along with the three proven motivation generators, it has to be a synergistic approach between the digital technology, that is this tracking apps or wearable technology, and the three ways. See, you have to motivate your clients, participants, or patients. There is a novel approach. Okay, the novel approach that has been given, that is known as why way do method. Okay, why way do method. Now your goal as a professional is to help clients identify what will make physical activity and movement personally compelling and sufficiently positive and relevant to their daily lives, right? See, we all face this problem, even with ourselves and even with our clients, or with our patients, is that they do not remain motivated for a longer period of time, right? If they want to do any weight loss, then for a shorter period of time they will stick to the physical goals, and then they will again come to the same routine. So it is very, very difficult to maintain that regularity in physical activity. We face this problem very often, right? Because of the stress, or because of the working hours, because of the limitations at home, whatever the reasons might be, n number of reasons. But we the regularity in physical activity is a grave concern, right? So what we have to do is what we do in why method, why we do. So why is we have to identify, or we have to make them identify why they have want to do this physical activity. It just cannot be very short term goal like weight loss. It has to be overall well-being of the patient or participant, that will drive them into regularly performing physical activity and sticking to a routine, right? If you focus on that by with physical activity, you would feel good as a whole. Your self esteem will come up, your mood will get elevated, you would be better able to perform work at your home or work at your office. So these are the how it will help in their daily activities, how this physical activity can contribute to their daily activities. Then only they will find a larger goal to doing this physical activity, right, rather than just short term goals, right? So overall positivity that exercise gives you in your life and in mentally and physically, that can drive them to stick to physical activity for a longer period of time, right? So you have to focus on the positivity part, right? So why harness your clients values, identified motivation, help them appreciate the specific ways in which moving benefits their daily life. Okay, way you have to see, you cannot be very rigid about that this protocol has to be followed. You have to identify what is the setting or what is the environment of the participant or the patient, and you have to give them liberty to choose their own physical activity. See, the exercise should not be intimidating. Okay, the protocol should not be very intimidating. It has to give the liberty to the clients to choose their own physical activity, what they feel happy about it. And we have to, we as exercise medicine specialists have to give a protocol, a form of protocol that involves those activities which gives them pleasure. Okay, just not have to be very strong activities or very hard physical activities that they have to do, right? You need to identify those activities. So you have to give your client permission to select physical activities that generate immediate positive experiences. Okay, intrinsic motivation, right? If they feel happy about it, if they feel happy doing it, then they will stick to it. If they feel that they're punished for doing physical activity, they would not stick to it for a longer period of time. So it should be good for them, it should be fun for them, and they should feel motivated. That is that is the main important part. Okay, do. And then the do part. So then encourage your client to build a learning mindset. See, you have to give them goals. Definitely you have to, when you start, you have to start with goal in mind, that this, and that to achievable goals. Don't give them goals which can never be achieved. You have to assess them properly, their body type, their environment, their needs, their motivation level, everything, and give them achievable goals. But apart from goals, you have to inculcate a mindset, a learning mindset. Tell them that you exercise cannot be learned in a, or any physical activity cannot be learned in a short period of time. It has to be, it is a lifelong process. So that learning mindset has to be, if you learn this much, then go ahead, step, go on to another step, go on to another step. So that is how a learning mindset would help to stick to a physical program, right? So learning mindset help them understand that physical activity isn't a one time target, but it is a lifelong journey where competence for being active and overcoming barriers to plans can be learned, right? So you have to remain active as long as possible. The goals are important, but they should not be the only thing that should be mattering to you. So the three elements are a team. They work together. The why, way, do method. Okay, to optimally motivate physical activity participation. So this was just a story. How did online training come into existence? So I'll just brief you. It was just to a sort of entertaining thing or a sort of piece of information out of the topic. Like, how did online training come into existence? So Jeff Stewart, he was the person, he developed Your Trainer app in 2010, right? So his question was, when we buy a new house, when we buy a new car online, then why can't we have a training experience online? So that was the thought, because everyone won't be able to afford, even the gyms that are there, they take a lot of fees. So everyone won't be able to afford so much of fees of gymming and clubs and all. Secondly, everyone won't have, if they have money, they don't have time enough. They might have to exercise at home or exercise in the office. So whatever it is, if online app or online material is available, they can do anywhere and everywhere, and then the feasibility increases a lot. It can reach masses. So then your trainer was developed, and this is how online training concept came into existence. This was just a gist of the story. Next. Next.
Yes, ma'am.
Sneha ma'am, you can change the slide.
Ma'am, I've already changed.
Okay, fine. Now
It's not
coming on
visible,
to,
ma'am.
so first, yeah, visible. Thank you. Yeah. So wearable technology, as I told you, that online training, it goes hand in hand with digital technology. Now we have with us the wearable technology. We have so many smart watches, we have fitness trackers, we have heart rate monitors, GPS tracking devices. Now advanced labs and researches where they carried out, they even have that, you can measure your blood pressure, oxygen saturation, and even ECG is also shown as a part of wearable technology. So we can use this wearable technology to give you motivation, like even your smartwatches, they tell you that they give you a reminder that you have been sitting for a long period of time, so now you need to get up and walk. There are certain apps that track your physical activity throughout the day, that tell you that okay, you've been doing light activity, you've been doing moderate, you've been doing heavy activity. They even measure your steps per hour or steps in the entire day. They even congratulate you if you finish the goal of steps for your day, like 2000 steps or whatever steps you have set, the goal that you have set. So these wearable technology, they are fancy, they are fashionable, but they are very, very helpful also. They can motivate you, they can give you reminder if you're too busy or too occupied with your work, you've forgotten that you need to move, they give you a reminder that you have to get up and move, you have to do certain amount of physical activity. So definitely, and they give you a feedback on your activity, what was the level of your physical activity. So the feedback always works in a positive way, right? So body worn devices have emerged as the measurement tool of choice in many surveillance, experimental, and observational studies. The use of devices to estimate activity and sedentary behavior has the potential to advance our understanding of how these behaviors are linked to health. Optimal intervention strategies to increase physical activity and decrease sedentary time can be planned, taking in with us this wearable technology, the feedback from this wearable technology, we can plan the optimum strategy. Okay, so you can give an exercise protocol based on the heart rate, that you have to do or take to that your physical activity to that level, that your heart rate reaches this level. So this can be helpful as a, they can be allies in the fitness protocols. Okay, so wearable activity monitors known as fitness trackers and electronic activity monitors are popular among both consumers and researchers. These monitors range from basic pedometers to multi-sensor wearables that connect to complex mobile apps. Okay, popular models of these monitors include those made by Fitbit, Misfit, and Garmin, as well as multi-purpose smartwatches with monitoring functionality. Right, so these all, they measure everything and anything you want according to your budget and economic capacity. You can have n number of technology at your aid. The only thing is, ultimately, with all this technology as your ally, you have to make the move. You only have to make, they cannot move for you. So the only thing that we have to motivate the patients and the clients is that they can work with you to motivate you, but ultimately it is you who has to do the physical activity. Typically, monitors track and provide feedback on activity related metrics such as steps, minutes of moderate or vigorous intensity physical activity, distance walked, and discrete bouts of specific. Naturally, they are helpful because if you are motivated to do the physical activity, with this feedback, you come to know whether you have to increase your activity or you have to modify your activity. So definitely it will prove to be very motivational in all terms, right? So we can use them as our allies. Some specialized devices and apps target athletic enthusiasts with additional functionality, such as detecting strength training exercises automatically and guiding heart rate training. So that is what I told you. Like supposing if you have squatted for something, then they would tell you this is a strength training exercise that you have done, so do 10 more times. So there are even advanced apps like this that give you this type of feedback. So you should do this activities often, right? They even suggest to certain activities that do this at this point of time. So there are so many digitalized apps and technologies that is available that we can use them to stay fit. A wearable monitor is a promising tool that can be used to increase motivation and promote self-monitoring for physical activity. See, it is all about self-motivation, self-esteem. So self-monitoring is very, very important for physical activity and even for research participants. The practitioners and what it is, see, it is a loop. It forms a feedback loop, a positive loop that is formed, that you do certain physical activity, you get a feedback, again that motivates you, again you do more physical activity, again that gives you a positive feedback, you again get more motivated. So it forms a positive loop, and ultimately it is sort of a behavioral therapy. This feedback works as a behavioral therapy. You go from negative to positive towards the attitude towards the physical activity. So it is, you have to think about the behavioral change, the techniques they would like to incorporate to help individuals change their behavior, right? So monitoring the heart rate or monitoring the physical activity will give you that positivity. The positive loop is formed, and ultimately a positive behavioral change you can find in yourself. Okay, right. Now the third thing, this is very interesting part, body weight training. In this era, especially in terms of crisis of COVID-19, where gyms are not available, fancy equipments are not available, we some of us do have we keep some equipments at home, like we might have a dumbbell, or we might have a kettlebell, right? We might have a medicine ball, right? But not everything that a gym offers, or a proper setup, fitness setup offers. We might not have everything, or we might not have anything also, right? If we cannot afford it, so then body weight training comes as a blessing to all of us. We don't need anything for this exercise. You just have to use your body weight to as a resistance to do certain movements, and that will give you miraculous results if you do it properly and regularly, right? So this is a new concept also in the fitness industry, body weight training, right? You might have heard about the tabatas and the crossfits, and also these are all part of high intensity interval training, which I will come later to it, and body weight training also, right? It is a combination of both, right? They can give them any fancy names, but this has been there since ages. It is just that we are now realizing it, that it can be done in this manner. So see, I always believe that whatever like we run after researches, yes, it is nothing wrong, it has to be evidence based. Whatever we do, it has to be research based, but sticking to our roots always help us. Like our age old grandfathers and grandmothers, they used to work a lot in fields, physical activity was there. Give them the name of squats or lunges, or right, the dips or anything like that. They were doing it in form of physical activity in their regular days. So they did not give them some they did not do any exercise, because their working pattern was an exercise in itself. So it is very saddening that when it comes from the Western countries, we follow it, and we just we give them fancy names like body weight training or Tabata or whatever it is. But if you see functional training itself also, like what our age old grandfathers and grandmothers were doing, if we do those activities, then also they are all functional training, they are all body weight training only. We can maintain ourselves fit, right? But since research is a part of our approach, we have to go accordingly only. So body weight training programs are all about using the weight of the body as a training modality, right? You don't need any fancy equipments, nothing. Just your body weight will act as a resistance, and you can induce the training effects. It involves a combination of variable resistance and neuromotor movements. Ma'am, I'm still left. Go to the previous slide.
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So involves a combination of variable resistance and neuromotor movements through multiple planes, right? You have to use your body weight you can use your body weight to give less resistance also and more resistance also. And in a multi-planar, movements have to be targeted to achieve the response. Since body weight requires little to no equipment, it is an inexpensive and functional way to exercise effectively. HICT is not a new concept, right? But it is growing in popularity because of its efficiency and practicality for a time constrained society, right? Right, it is not it was there before. It is a high intensity circuit training. Body weight training has to be done in the form of high intensity circuit training. It was there before also, but it is now. Why? Because we have less time. A routine day of physical activity, they ask you to do 30 minutes to 60 minutes per day. Many people who are very busy would not be able to afford this time. You just have 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You have to work out in your break times in the office hours, so 20 minutes hardly you would have. So if you gain with 20 minutes of physical activity, if you gain effects like a 60-minute or a 40-minute activity, it would be a boon, right? So then it is not a new concept, but in this time constrained society, this is very practical. So it is known as circuit training, high intensity circuit training. So it is a combination of aerobic as well as your resistance training in a high intensity limited rest design. See, you do not allow your system to cool down, right? So it would be 30 seconds of high intensity bout of any exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest period. So 10 seconds is very effective rest period, so that your heart rate maintains at a higher level and you gain the metabolic effects that are required within a short period of time, which is very important and very feasible for all of us, right, when we are time constrained, right? So but if it all 10 seconds is not possible for you initially, at least they say that less than 15 seconds or at least 15 seconds is desirable, not more than 15 seconds of rest period. Okay, so it has to be a combination of aerobic and resistance training in a high intensity can deliver numerous health benefits in much less time than traditional programs. When body weight is used as resistance, it eliminates the limiting factors of access to equipment and facilities. Next slide. So
Yes,
HICT
ma'am.
can be a fast and efficient way to lose excess body weight and body fat. Very good news for most of us. The incorporated resistance training contributes significantly to the amount of fat burned during a workout. Right, this mobilizes. There have been numerous studies which say that HICT burns fat very fast as compared to the traditional programs. And when you use resistance training exercises in multiple planes, the multiple large muscles are used with very less rest period. So you elicit aerobic also and metabolic effects also. So what they say that you have something known as excessive post exercise oxygen consumption. They say that EPOC after high intensity circuit training is much higher as compared to your traditional exercise programs, and this metabolic benefits remain up to 72 hours after a high intensity exercise bout has been completed, right? So numerous effects are there. HICT may be an extremely effective and efficient means by which to increase an individual's VO2 max, which is a very well established marker of cardiopulmonary health. When HICT protocols have been compared with traditional steady state protocols in the laboratory, it elicits similar and sometimes greater gains in VO2 max. The second is HICT is very good news. It should be incorporated for all diabetic patients. You can assess their physical activity level and give them according program. You can start from greater rest periods and then reduce the rest periods, or lesser difficult body weight multiplanar exercises, and then go on increasing and progressing to more difficult ones. But they say that the insulin insensitivity has markedly reduced with this HICT programs. Insulin resistance has markedly reduced with this, in as much as if you do 8 minutes per week. Okay, when you execute at intensity more than 100% of VO2 max, just with 8 minutes per week, you can see the positive changes in the insulin resistance. So this is I would suggest that HICT program should be included in all diabetics exercise program. Next. So what is the exercise order? Since it is high intensity circuit training, we all are aware what is circuit training. Circuit training involves a successive repetition of stations, right? You have various stations, and 10 to 12 stations are there, and you have to perform those exercises and then repeat that entire cycle of stations, right? So circuit should be placed in an order that allows for opposing muscle groups to alternate between resting and working in subsequent exercise stations, right? So for example, what stations you can include? 4 stations. It can include whole body workout, then it has to be upper body, lower body, and core. So these are the 4 stations. You can keep 8 stations, that is 8 exercises, and then you have to repeat this cycle. Okay, so a push-up upper body station would be followed by a squat, that is lower body station, right? So the objective is to allow for a series of exercises to be performed in quick succession using proper form and technique and at high intensity with minimal rest between the exercise. Like for example, I told you can give 30 seconds of squats followed by 10 or 15 seconds of rest period. Then you have to do 30 seconds of push-up followed by 10 seconds of rest period. So like that, you have to go from one station to the other with minimal rest period in between. But 30 seconds, you have to do that exercise at a station, at one station. Okay. So the number of exercises, the original circuit training protocols calls for 9 to 12 exercise stations. Okay. You can, depending on the physical activity level, you can keep 9 to 12 exercise station. There is no ideal number of exercise station. However, it is important that for a general program, your all major muscle groups have to be used once at least, right? So that is important. All large muscle groups have to be used. You have to you have to fire them once. The number of exercise station also will affect the total exercise time. So according to the time and availability that you have to select the stations and select the exercises, but it should be upper body, lower body, total body workout, as well as your core. Next. So this is a sample program that sample program has got 12 stations. All exercises can be done with body weight and implement easily acquired in almost any setting. You can do it at home, office, hotel room, wherever you want to, right? So the first here is jumping jack. Okay, I hope you know what is jumping jack. This is for whole body. Okay, next. Now this is for the wall sit. Okay, the wall squats. Wall sit is for your lower body, followed by push up, which is your upper body. Next. Then this is core, that is followed by abdominal crunches. Then step up onto chair, total body workout. Next. Squat, lower body, triceps dip, upper body. Again core, that is plank. High knees running in place, total body. Lunges, lower body, push up and rotation, upper body, and last again you will have core. Next, that is slide plank is core. Understood? So the practicability and accessibility of HIIT using body weight and resistance makes this exercise program very, very feasible. Okay, so this was all about your body weight training. Okay, HIIT. I think most of you might be aware, but if you were not aware, please start using this in your day-to-day fitness regimens, even for the normal fitness clients and as well as for your patients. As I told you, it is very, very helpful in diabetic patients, and I myself have used this HIIT programs, and we have really got very good results in diabetic patients. Okay. Now, outdoor activities. See, now since uh, this is a time where closed exercising in a closed room is not very, very feasible, right? So outdoor activities, perhaps like where you can maintain social distancing, like in huge parks or gardens, or going for hiking or anything, a park. Okay, though they are shut down for now, but when things get better and you don't want to go to the gym again, where still you have higher chances of getting infected with COVID-19. Okay, so you don't want to go into indoor spaces and exercise. So once things get better and the gardens and parks open up, you can opt for outdoor activities also. Now they say that go green, right? Going green is the is the slogan that we all have been following in everything, probably because of the pollution or because of the environmental changes. So going green with exercises also is the new funda. Actually, go green means you go out in gardens, you go out in parks, and you exercise in the outdoor setting. Right now, it has got various advantages over indoor. See, first of all, gym environment is very intimidating. I feel that everyone is working, and it is everyone is working. It is very compelling environment. You have to work out, and even the trainers are on your head, and they're like, you have to do this much, you have to achieve this much goal. So it is very intimidating. So rather than it gives positive feedback to certain, but certain people, they get even they, rather than being motivated, they get demotivated. So if you are in outdoor space, first of all, you feel very relaxed. The greenery around, or the space, the open space gives you a feedback of positivity. It elevates your mood. It relieves your anxiety or stress that is related to exercising, or your body shape, or your physical activity level. It removes that anxiety and stress. So exercising outdoors is always a mood gainer, you can say, right? It elevates your mood, and you feel happy about exercising. Secondly, that has always been found that exercising outdoor, it motivates the participants. It also increases the adherence to physical activity. If you go out for running or jogging, you tend to do it often. You follow it throughout. You don't leave it, because you feel motivated going outside. Your mood becomes better, your self esteem improves, and more importantly, the adherence to exercise increases, right? So to increase physical activity, venues beyond the traditional gym setting are an appealing alternative. The outdoor environment offers a great space for movement that is convenient, also affordable, also, and less intimidating than the gym setting. Recent research shows that outdoor exercise increases participant adherence, enjoyment, and exercise related satisfaction. Also, they feel that they have done something physical, they feel happy about it, so they will adhere to it for a longer period of time, and they even enjoy it. So, mentally, also, the health will improve. Outdoor exercise overcomes the cost burden which is associated with many indoor training facilities. Body weight training. See, with what I explained you before, body weight training. It is an efficient method to improve muscular strength and endurance, and it can be incorporated into your outdoor workouts also. See, use whatever is available for outdoor workout. If you have dumbbell, use it. If you have kettle, use it. If you have resistance bands, therabands, use them. If you have gym balls, you can go to park and exercise. Use whatever is available, not these equipments, even the side rails of the park that are available, you can use them to do the pull-ups, the rowing. Okay, you can use the wall of the parks or the garden to do squats, to do wall sit-ups. So use whatever is available. You can use trees to do squats, or so whatever is available in the surrounding, you can use them. Or as a trainer or as physical therapist, we can use this the setting in order to create a motivating and a very interesting environment for the clients. Okay, you can use the uneven surfaces or hilly surfaces, which will give you balance and proprioception exercises, right? So whatever is there, take it as a challenge and take it as an opportunity to work out, right? So in addition, that is what I was saying, it is an efficient method requiring nothing beyond the weight of one's own body. Body weight training overcomes common obstacles like space and equipment. Parks and stadium provide ideal settings with hilly surfaces or uneven surfaces, fixed objects of varying heights, and open space. You can use whatever is available. That is what I told you. Resistance bands, suspension trainers, medicine ballers, cones can be incorporated to add challenge and variety. These training tools can be especially useful in open spaces that lack features of a built environment. Now, you can do this outdoors in outdoor settings. There are 4 ways you can set your repetitions. I have not included in my PPT purposefully because I want you to listen to me rather than just seeing the PPT. There are 4 ways you can do it. First of all is the Tabata style workout or repetitions that you can set up, you can do. Tabata style is nothing. It is body weight training only, but it gives you 20 seconds of body weight workouts or multiplanar movements followed by 10 seconds of rest. Okay, you have to do at least 8 cycles of the activities. Okay, and you have to, even a 4 minute of Tabata induces such metabolic effects and changes that are very, very helpful for the entire physical health. Okay, so first was Tabata. The second way you can do it is supersets. Supersets means what? You will supposing you have taken of the 5 physical activity, you in one set, supposing you have kept 4 repetitions, then you will do these repetitions or these sets continuously with no rest period, and you will finish it in a shorter period of time, because it will increase your heart rate to a maximum level very fast, right? So that are known as supersets. Supersets, you will do physical activity, successive physical activities or successive physical activity sets with almost no rest period, that are known as supersets. The third is the ladder fashion. Ladder fashion means what? Supposingly you are going to do the squats, the push-ups, and the planks, these 3 physical activity, then you will go on increasing your repetitions in a set. Like supposingly for first cycle, you have done 4 repetitions in one set, then 6, 8, 10. So like that, in an increasing manner, you will go on increasing the repetition. That is known as ladder fashion. And the fourth one is pyramid fashion. Pyramid fashion means what? These 3 activity, 4, 6, 8, then you will come down. Okay, 4, 6, 8, 10. From 10 you will come down to again 6, 8, 4 and 2. So like that. So first you increase the number of repetitions in a set, and then you go on successively reducing the number of repetitions in a set. So 4 ways. First is Tabata style, second is supersets, the third is your ladder fashion, and the fourth one is your pyramid fashion. Okay, so these are the 4 ways you can design your repetitions in a set. They all give very good effects. Okay, so this is not for general population, but for us, when we have to design a protocol for our clients. Okay, so exercise intensity can be set according to the demand or according to the needs of the participant, or they see the goals, or the intensity cannot be the same for everyone. It has the needs, the specific needs, the goals have to be identified, and accordingly you can set whether you want to set more aerobic, whether you want to set more anaerobic, so whether you want more strength, power, you want more endurance, you just want general well-being. So according to the maximum heart rate, you can set the intensity. Okay, intensity according to the RPE, okay, rate of perceived exertion. And so whether you want strength, power, you want aerobic conditioning, or you want general conditioning, this is a table which can give you a guide. Like if you want strength or power, it has to be 80 to 95% of your heart rate maximum. If you want aerobic conditioning, it has to be 75 to 95%, general then 65 to 75%, and accordingly the duration can be, interval duration can be set. Okay, next. So this is an example of various outdoor activities. Like see, the push-up ramp. This is a ramp in a park, right? So you can do the push-ups. Now you have to give 3 phases. First of all, you start from regression, that is a easy activity, then the base, and then the progression. Like for push-up, here you should see from left to right. Okay, so you are doing push up with by inclining on your knees. The knees are supported, then it is the normal push up, and then the progression is that you will do it single leg push up. Okay, similarly for lateral pull down, see here you are using a ramp of a park. Here you are using the trees, and you are using the bands for rowing or lateral pull down. So for regression, you see from left to right. For regression, split stance, the person will be standing in split stance and will be doing lateral pull down. Then it will be in squat position, that is half kneel base, and then one leg. Okay, single leg. Next. Next. Okay, so then planks. Yeah. Planks, you are using the tree as a supporting surface, right? So plank with alternating arms. The tree is not needed for support though, right? So alternating arms from right to left, if you can see, right? So first of all, the knees are bent on knees, then on toes, the planks on toes, alternate arm, and then on one leg. Okay. Then inverted row, you can see the small columns that are there in the park have been used. You can see they have been used to do the inverted rowing. Okay, inverted rowing. So first of all, see from right to left. Okay, first of all the knees are bent, then straight legs, and then on the single leg. That is the progression. So this is how you can use the various things in the parks and gardens, and you can design the exercise protocol for your clients. Okay, now this is a very interesting part. High intensity interval training. This is the current trend, very trending approach to fitness right now. Like the Tabata is one form of high intensity training. Your CrossFit is high intensity interval training, right? Then your spinning, if you have heard, is a high intensity interval training, right? So these are all various approaches to fitness. High intensity interval training programs typically involve short, so it is high intensity interval training. So there are short bursts of physical activity or intense bouts of exercise which are followed by short period of rest, okay, or active recovery, right? So basically I told you, in a time constrained society where you do not have enough time to go through the normal protocols that we have been using, this is a blessing where we have only 20 minutes break time and we have to exercise in that. Then this will give you same effect as a 60-minute traditional program or even more than that, okay, and faster results. So interval training involves alternating periods of relatively intense work and recovery. Altering the intensity and duration of the work and recovery periods allows for the production of a nearly infinite number of internal training workouts. Right? You can reduce this. You can reduce the rest period. You can increase the rest period. You can increase your workout period, like 30 and 10 second or 20 second and 10 second. Okay. You can even go ahead with even 40 second, 50 second, and 15 seconds rest period. So any combination will give you infinite number of internal training workouts. Of course, various movement in various multiplanar and in multiple planes will definitely add to it. That is, body resistance will add to it. So modern fitness programming has adopted the term high intensity interval training as a way to describe this approach to fitness and performance. And two general categories are there: aerobic high intensity interval training, and the other is body weight high intensity interval training or resistance high intensity interval training. Both of them are very effective. But like Tabata, if you say, it is a form of body weight high intensity interval training. Spinning is a form of aerobic high intensity interval training. So I'll come to both of them. Very interesting. Please listen to it carefully. So aerobic high intensity interval training most often uses running and cycling to deliver the desired intensities by way of activities such as spin classes and track based running workouts. See, what is there in spinning? What is exactly spinning is that there is a specialized cycle. Spinning is nothing but cycling only. What we have are the gym cycle that is available, the exercise bike that we say, right? But it has got a specialized flywheel which adds more weight, so you have to pedal more, right? So what you do is 30 seconds you have to do very fast cycling, which is almost about your 80 to 100% of your VO2 max, right? The heart rate should shoot up. So 30 seconds or 20 seconds you have to do very high intensity cycling, and then will be followed by 10 seconds of rest period. So similarly, you can involve, like, it has to be a warm up period in the beginning and cool down period at the end, right? So 30 seconds like that, you have to do 6 cycles. So 6 cycles of high intensity cycling and rest period, followed by then you have to 6 minutes of moderate exercises, and rest period short. You have to reduce the short periods, rest periods, if you are doing it at moderate intensity. Again, you have to have a high intensity bout for 1 minute. You're doing it for 30 seconds, now for 1 minute, and then again the cool down period. So this is one protocol. There are various protocols according to the physical demand of the participant and the goals of the participant, right? So this is spinning. Then track based running workouts, same. Instead of cycling, you will be running over here. So sprints. So 30 second, 20, 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter, fast fast running has to be done, sprinting has to be done, followed by very slow running. Again 30 seconds you have to sprint very fast. Okay, the distance can be altered. It can be 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter. The intensity can be altered, the rest period can be altered, right? So various protocols can be found. So these are two examples of aerobic high intensity interval training. So in short intervals you will give your maximum output. You will exercise at maximum intensity followed by short rest period. Again you will come back to high intensity. In contrast, resistance or body weight high intensity intense training makes use of calisthenics, plyometrics, and or loaded lifts in training programs like Tabata, CrossFit, boot camp training, and all similar. So Tabata I've already explained. It just uses body weight movements only in multiplanar. That is multiplanar movements like your squats, lunges, burpees, squat jumps. There are various things in Tabata, various movements that you can use your body weight in different ways. It typically involves 8 cycles of 20 seconds of high intensity bout of exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest period. So any activities you can use, but usually it is alternating, that is upper body, lower body, core, that is how you alternate, and 8 cycles has to be done. So even 4 minutes of Tabata, they say it gives you miraculous results. Okay, so then secondly is your CrossFit program is nothing but the functional training. In that, what you use, you again target upper limb, lower limbs, upper body, lower body, your core, your whole body. Again a high interval training followed by short duration of rest period, but in this it is basically functional training. Matlab you can use medicine balls, you can use resistance band, any functional movements are included in CrossFit. So this is very very appealing. You can even use the huge wheels of the truck or tires of the truck that are available. You can use that speed ropes that are, if you would have seen the Bollywood celebrities doing it, right? So faster, that taxes your cardiovascular system and your neuromuscular system a lot, right? So CrossFit is nothing, it is same as body weight training or Tabata, but you use functional movements. Okay, like rope, speed ropes, and the huge tires of a truck or anything can be used to give you resistance and functional movements. Okay, although both types of HIIT programs are used widely and research indicates the effectiveness of body weight type HIIT programming, most research has focused on HIIT that primarily is aerobic, because cycling and treadmill is usually more available, more feasible for the researchers, because everyone might not know Tabata or CrossFit, but cycling and treadmill we all can incorporate into. Okay, and it even allows you more accurate assessment of work also. Okay, next. So physiological benefits of HIIT, aerobic fitness, it increases VO2 max far greater extent than more quickly than continuous moderate exercises. Metabolic health, it improves your insulin sensitivity, and cardiovascular health, it improves your endothelial function more effectively than all forms of continuous exercises. Next. Okay, so virtual training is nothing but the online training, right? In these times when we cannot go out, virtual training has to be the way of working out. So there are certain physical activity trackers. I have already explained all this, that the gadgets can be made into use. They can be made RLIs to gain the goal to enhance the weight loss outcomes, right? Now this virtual training should be such that it should be appealing to the entire community or to a larger population. So it should be interesting also, it should be appealing, it should be motivating, right? So the community guide to preventive services recommends technology supported multi-component interventions with coaching, like personal coaching can be done, or one coach and many people can join in at the same time. So such generalized programs can also be taken into account for fitness and weight loss. Next. An appealing strategy, this is e-health, right? Nothing, virtual training is e-health interventions. So you can allow the integration of personal variables. So when you are seeing it online, and when you're doing exercises, you can wear your smart watches, or you can wear your personal tracking devices like Fitbit or Garmin. right? And its evidence supports the benefit of adding these technology to standard care for weight loss, because they give you a positive feedback, especially for sedentary individuals. Next. Okay, exercise is medicine. I told you that exercise is medicine right now, especially in terms of crisis, not only for physical health but also for mental health, for feeling that well-being, that positivity. We need to exercise, because we all know what are the effects of wonderful, miraculous effects of exercises. It can tackle even the most severe depression also, though along with medications. But exercise forms a very important part of mental health, overall psychological well-being also, right? So now exercise is medicine is not only a quote, but it is an initiative which has been taken care of by ACSM in USA, right? They have taken this a global health initiative that is focused on encouraging primary care physicians and other healthcare providers to recommend every patient to exercise professionals, right? They, whatever, whichever patients are coming to them for any treatment, they have to refer them to the exercise professionals. So that is one drive, global health initiative, that has been taken by ACSM. Second is exercise is medicine on campus. Okay, so that is they will be connecting all the college campuses, and they will be driving the students and the teachers to join this initiative and to maintain physical activity and promote physical activity among the on campus people. Okay, so because of this COVID, this could not be this could not take place. So virtually they are doing it. They are doing online sessions, and they are promoting exercise medicine on campus also, and for patients also. Next. Okay, so this is just that what they have done, that for strength training also they have kept some Facebook live sessions. For normal aerobic conditioning, they have kept. For outdoor activities or outdoor fitness protocols, they have kept a Facebook live session. So they have done all these activities. But this is, unfortunately, it is a global initiative, but it is yet to reach India. I hope that something of this kind, the exercise enthusiasts and the exercise professionals like us, we can come together and we can launch such a national initiative, so that in this times the physical activity is taken care of, because it is not only for well-being but also for immunity. It is one of the immunity boosters, right? So we can come together, we can join hands, and we can also form such initiative on a national level. Okay, next. Although there is consensus that increasing physical activity participation is a public health imperative, limited progress has been made within the healthcare sector. It is important to keep in mind the benefits of physical activity participation as a proven prevention and treatment strategy. This has to be educated to more and more general population as well as healthcare providers. I don't know why, but even in India, this is there is some sort of lack of awareness among the physicians also, or among the medical professionals also. They do not refer people for exercise very often. They opt for medicines, or they opt for other strategies, but they are very reluctant to send it to us. I don't know what is the reason. Probably we have to break that barriers. We have to communicate a lot. I think we have to organize such programs that can create awareness not only among the participants, general population, but also among the medical professionals, to tell them that physical activity participation is a must, and it should be preferred for all individuals and for all the patients that come to you, okay, as a part of preventive strategy. Okay, now strength training with free weights. This is a traditional protocol. We have been doing it in gym and with dumbbells at home and everything. Whatever is kettlebells and medicine, whatever you have, you can use it for strength training, right? Strength training can be done using body weight also, but this is using free weights, right? So whatever you have in hand, that is barbell or kettlebells or anything, dumbbells, whatever you have, you can incorporate. But this is very, very important that you have a structured protocol for free weights, otherwise the chances of injury are high. So you have to take up, though you might be doing it on your own, but it is advised to be done initially supervised under the specialist, that is the exercise specialist. And secondly, a protocol has to be given according the physical activity assessment, the strength assessment has to be done by physiotherapist, and then accordingly the protocol can be given. For us, we have been using daily adjusted progressive resisted exercises method or approach for the patients, and that can be also used, that is 1 RM according to the goal and demand of the patient. You can assess one repetition maximum, and accordingly you can set the intensity with free weights. Next. Okay, so this was just an example of the lifting, that is technical lifts, that is snatch and clean and jerk. I would not like to discuss it over here because it is just an example that how you're supposed to teach it properly. These are the phases, and if you do it haphazardly, it can cause there are more chances of injury. And that is how most of the patient come to us, that I was gymming and I was doing this deadlift and this clean lift, and this is how I injured my back and injured my shoulder and all. It is because of the improper technique, improper supervision. So remaining physical activity, remaining motivated is another thing, and doing it unsupervised is not a very good act, not a wise act. You have to take the guidance from the professionals. Next. Next. Fitness. Now the last thing, the fitness program for older adults, right? With on all this boom, we basically forgot our baby boomers. Baby boomers are is the population that has baby boomers are the population that has basically they have taken birth after the Second World War. So they are basically in their 60s and 70s. They are known as baby boomers, right? So we even not only see fitness is not only for the younger generation, okay, or for the mid age population, it is also for the geriatric population. So they say that physical activity is a must for geriatric population to reduce the comorbidities, to reduce the number of falls, right? So no, and not only the general body conditioning and aerobic, like not only simple walking anything, but even resistance training has to be given to these baby boomers to improve their overall health. So it is a myth that they cannot do resistance training. Yes, definitely. After 60, the quality of the skeletal muscle, it deteriorates, but still with resistance training and good amount of, see, it is not that their protocols have to be different, okay? They cannot you cannot give them the same protocol as you give for the individual, for the young individuals. It has to be different. You have to go slow, you have to progress slow, right? But definitely with the conditioning, even they can achieve very good results, okay? Their strength, power, everything improves, right? So today people are living longer, they are working longer, they don't want to retire, they want to remain healthy and active as much as possible. So for them, exercise is a must. Falls among the older adult population are costly to the individuals, their families, as well as society. So this as a part of prevention also, you have to do exercises. And this falling, frequent falling, if at all, it can also first of all do physical damage, and if at all it will not do physical damage, it can also have psychological consequences. The patient will become, or the older adult will become, less and less active because of the fear of falling. So we have to make them strong, we have to make them active, we have to make them confident to exercise and reduce the number of falls. So the good news is that up to 42% of falls can be prevented by well-designed exercise programs that are tailored for the level of fall risk and of a sufficiently high dose to significantly lower the total number and the rate of falls experienced by older adults. 6 categories you have been identified. They include gait, balance, functional training. Okay, gait, balance, functional training, strength or resistance training, flexibility training, 3-dimensional exercises, general physical activity, and aerobic endurance. So 6 you have to incorporate this 6 categories into their protocol. Next. So these are the examples. Like for gait, balance, and functional training, you can give them balance platforms, right? Wobble board training, agility training. For strength or resistance training, you can give them equipment based or yes. I'm not able to hear you.
Ma'am, you're
Uh,
audible. You're audible.
okay, fine. Is it okay if I take some more time?
Ma'am, it is you can finish it within 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So for strength or resistance training, it has to be equipment based. Okay, resistance bands can be used, dumbbells can be used, step down, step up activities can be used. For flexibility, stretching can be given, taught to them, yoga. For three-dimensional activities, you can use dancing, okay, tap dancing or just fun dancing, square stepping, tai chi can be used. For general physical activity, you can give them walking. For aerobic endurance, it can be treadmill walking, it can be cycling, that can be given. Okay, so physical others, you can include self-care activities or other functional training activities can also be given to them. So these are the examples of exercises, but definitely you have to assess them properly. The physical assessment has to be done properly, then a protocol has to be given, but these things have to be targeted in their program. Next. Next.
I changed it, ma'am. Is it visible?
uh, yeah. The effective programs are distinguished by the following categories or characteristics. See, should include static as well as dynamic activities, balance activities tailored according to the risk level. The balance exercises are more made progressively more challenging across time. The exercises are performed with minimal support. A functional resistance training component is included and also is progressed across time, right? So effective programs will purposefully include strategies aimed at fostering long-term changes in adults behaviors and attitudes towards preventing falls, and also positive attitude towards physical activity and being more active and self-dependent, and they will also, it will also increase their self-esteem. Next. Right, so this is during the past 3 decades, it has become increasingly more evident that resistance training must be an integral part of any exercise program. So this is just that if you want power, if you want strength, then this has to be the repetition, that is 3 to 5 repetition at 85 to 90% of 1 rm. If you want hypertrophy, 8 to 12 repetitions at 70 to 80% 1 rm. Endurance, it has to be 20 to 28 repetition at 40 to 60% of 1 rm, right? So these are the various approaches or that can be used for according to the goals of the participant. Next. Okay, so personal training has been a top 10 trend since the first published trend reports in 2006. People are going towards more and more personal training because it has got a lot of benefits. First of all, it can, the protocol is tailor made, your assessment becomes personal, the supervision becomes personal. The personal trainer, if he is present, he can, you know, observe you there and there. He can see your rate of perceived exertion and he can accordingly modify the activities. If it is less, if he feels that rp is less, he can increase the difficulty level. If he feels that the rp is more, he can reduce the difficulty level. So there are various advantages of the personal training, right? It can be online in terms of covid, right? You can choose a personal trainer, that facility is also available. There are various apps that are there, you can go there and choose your personal trainer. Next. The goal setting becomes very easy with your personal training. Yes, so it encourages proper exercise form. If you're doing it incorrectly, there and then you can get corrected. If in a generalized program, there is no one to supervise you, no one to correct you, right? So you're, if you're doing something wrong, she can correct you. right? He can give you positive remarks and reinforcement. He can push you towards achieving the goal. He or she can track session intensities. He can increase or decrease the periodization, okay, or rather than a one size fit all regimen, okay, rather than a general program. He can use for perceived exertion, okay. He can adjust goal setting according to the performance, according to the periodization, right? She can give you client homework that this can be done at home and come up so that you can perform better, okay. And he keeps a close eye on exercise frequency, intensity and time. So definitely personal training has got much more benefits if you can afford it than the generalized program. Next, I think we are done with it. Okay, so these were the 10 top 10 trends of fitness and approach to fitness in terms of COVID-19, right? And I hope that we being the torch bearers of exercise, the physiotherapists being the top torch bearers of exercise, we would definitely do a lot of innovative things and take this make this exercises medicine a movement in India also, okay, and project it to larger and larger population. And we'll remain updated with latest trends also, so that the even the medical professionals are compelled to refer more and more patients to us, more and more individuals to us. So let exercise is science or exercise is medicine movement be very strong, and we be the torch bearers of this movement. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently.
Uh, yes, ma'am. Am I audible? Actually, I lost the network connection. That's why.
Yeah, I just concluded it. uh,
Ma'am, like we have received few questions from our student side.
yeah, sure.
The first question is: after how many days of isolation after COVID-19, we can start doing the workout or the strengthening?
See that basically depends on your condition, right? Even it's not that you see in COVID isolation period, they say that you should rest, you should not stress your system much, right? So after
Yes.
14 days,
Yes.
I think you can start gradually with your aerobic exercise. That is the general protocol, not going into high intensity interval training or body weight training, but you can definitely start with moderate intensity exercises, because that ultimately will help you recover also faster. But I don't think during this 14 days you should do that, because they say that rest is the key towards recovery. But definitely after 14 days you can start with moderately paced exercises like moderate walking or cycling, and then you can go ahead according to your, see again, anything cannot be generalized. You have to be assessed for your condition. If your lungs were involved, what is the current condition and all. So it has to be done by a professional, right? So get yourself assessed and then you can start. But doing moderately paced activities, I don't think would do any harm. It will definitely benefit you.
Yes. Ma'am, the next question is like you explained about the outdoor activities, right?
Yes,
So, which
yes.
is appealing definitely. So, how the people will be agree in this current times of COVID situation? Like how it is possible?
See, outdoor activities, I told you right now, parks and gardens are closed. But once the things become bit easy, see, going to gym right now, I don't think any of us would agree, because it is a closed space and very high chances of infection. So rather than that, in parks, you have to maintain a good amount of distance. Okay, you have to maintain social distancing, and then you can plan it. Again, it has to be in supervision. You can do it on your own, but then you have to take care that you have socially distanced yourself properly, right? And then you do the activities. If you want, you can wear gloves so that if you're touching any surface, right? You can wear mask. See, wearing mask and exercising is again not advised much. It is not good for your lungs, right? So but in, see, there is recent guidelines that have come. They say that catching infection in open is very rare. I mean, it has got less chances rather than in closed spaces. So seeing your safety, you can do it, but if not, then in indoor spaces also you can do. I have even given you the protocols and the options for that also. Till it is not feasible for you to do outdoors, you can, or you can go to a place where it is less populated, and you can make a you can maintain a safe social distance. That you have to see first. Social distancing, or you seeing a safety, is a must first.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Mm. Mm.
Ma'am, the last question is, clinically, is there any way to check the stability of the patient, whether the person is physically stable or not?
We have many exercise test batteries that are available, right? Whether the patient is stable or no. We have our 6-minute walk tests. We have a Cooper test. So there are so many exercise batteries that are available, which calculates your VO2 max. You have your treadmill testing also, we can do for the patient, and which calculates your target heart rate, or which calculates your VO2 max, right? So that are there, you can use them, and you can come to know whether the patient is physically stable or no, and what should be the intensity of training for that patient.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Mhm.
Ma'am, so on that note, we come to the end of this wondrous and the mind-opening session here,
Yeah.
and I hope that everyone has taken something from this, because basically this was for the youngsters, right, who are fond of doing gym and workout regularly, and right, in this current scenario of this
It's
COVID-19, the
disheartening,
gyms are
yes.
closed. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there is no interruption in the routine workout, and they can definitely do it regularly.
Yes,
So
yes.
I offer my immense gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Slesha for her sparing of her precious time and knowledge with all of us. And we indeed, ma'am, learned a lot from you. Thank you so much, audience, for your patient listening. And once again, thank you so much, Dr. Slesha, ma'am, for wonderful your like sharing of your knowledge. Thank you, ma'am. Have
Yeah,
a good.
thank you so much. Stay safe, stay fit. That should what we
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
adopt. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Bye. Bye.